mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says all human beings are full of desires. Their life is built by desires. The will of man is made of desire. His needs are desires. He can get rid of all these desires only by a constant vigilance and steady elimination. Each time you feel excited or annoyed, each time that you are upset, you can be sure that there is a desire lurking behind the appearances. The sign of the true and divine consciousness is perfect equality, constant equanimity, and peace. Excitement, irritation, sorrow, depression, upsetting, all belonging to the physical consciousness and must be surmounted in order to get rid of falsehood, says our Divine Mother. With love and blessing, says our Divine Mother. Message from our Divine Mother on the occasion of this special Darshan Day. Our Divine Mother says, the Divine is with you. Never forget that you are not alone. The Divine is with you, helping and guiding you. The Divine is with you, helping and guiding you. He is the companion who never fails, the friend whose love comforts and strengthens. The more you feel lonely, the more you are ready to perceive His luminous presence. Have faith and He will do everything for you.
A sudden messenger from the all-seeing God traversed the soundless corridors of his mind, bringing her rhythmic sense of hidden things. All vision gathered into a single ray, as when the eyes stare at an invisible point, till through the intensity of one luminous spot, an apocalypse of world of images enter into the kingdom of the seer.
Our Divine Mother says, it is in the Divine that we all shall find all that we need. Alone the Divine can give us a perfect safety. Let the Divine Consciousness be the leading power in your life. Let the Divine Presence be always with you. Whatever you do, always remember the Divine. The Divine manifests upon earth whenever and wherever it is possible. In each heart, the Divine's presence is the promise of future and possible perfections. It is only in the Divine that we can find perfect peace and total satisfaction. Behind the surface of things, there is a sea of perfect consciousness in which we can always dip. There is a consciousness that nothing can debase or tarnish or defile. It is the one that we call the Divine Consciousness. The Divine Consciousness must be our only guide. The Divine Consciousness is the only true help, the only true happiness. The Lord has said, the time has come and all the obstacles will be overcome. The Divine is the Savior of all life and the reason of all activity, the goal of our thoughts. The Divine's presence is for us an absolute, immutable, invariable fact. In the Divine, by the Divine, all is transfigured and glorified. In the divine is found the key of all mysteries and all powers. In all there lacks the unchanging peace of the divine sovereign contemplation and the calm vision of the divine's immutable eternity. Our Divine Mother says, in the Divine's light we shall see, in the Divine's knowledge we shall know, in the Divine's will we shall realize. Outside the Divine, all is falsehood and illusion, all is mournful obscurity. In the Divine is life, light, and joy. In the Divine is the sovereign peace. All our strength is with the Divine. With Him we can surmount all the obstacles. The Divine's voice is heard as a melodious chant in the stillness of the night. The Divine's voice is heard as a melodious chant in the stillness of the night. The Divine's triumph is so perfect that every obstacle, every ill will, every hatred rising against Him is a promise of a vaster and still completer victory.
The lost secrets dropped by time in the dust and crannies of his mounting roof, mid old forsaken dreams of hastening mind, and buried remnants of forgotten space.
Our Divine Mother says, for the plenitude of His light, we invoke the Divine to awaken in us the power to express Him. The Divine's words comfort and bless, soothe and illumine, and the Divine's generous hand lifts a fold of the veil which hides the infinite knowledge. How calm, noble and pure is the splendor of the Divine's contemplation. To live in the Divine with a life quite new, a life solely made of the Divine, of which the Divine should be the sovereign Lord, and so all troubles will be transformed into serenity, all anguish into peace. We feel the Divine so living in us that we await events with serenity, knowing that His way is everywhere since we carry it in our being. The Divine's glory transforms defeats into eternity's victories. Shadows have fled before His radiant brightness. The Divine's presence gives us peace in strength, serenity in action, and an unchanging happiness in the midst of all circumstances. Our Divine Mother says, the Divine is the unalloyed happiness, the blissful felicity, and this felicity is perfect only when it is integral. The Divine is the sure friend who never fails, the power, the support, the guide. The Divine is the light which scatters darkness, the conqueror who assures the victory. Our Divine Mother says, the Divine alone is the support that never fails. The only response that never fails is the Divine's. The only love that never fails is the Divine's. Love the Divine alone, and the Divine will always be with you. The opinion of the Supreme Lord alone has importance. The Supreme Lord alone deserves all our love, and He returns it to us 100-fold. Take the Divine alone into your soul's confidence. Think of the Divine alone, and the Divine will be with you. A single occupation, a single aim, a single joy, the divine. Concentration upon oneself means decay and death. Concentration on the divine alone brings life, growth, and realization. Without the divine, life is a painful illusion. With the divine, all is bliss. The ideal attitude is to belong only to the divine, to work only for the divine, and above all, to expect only from the divine strength, peace, and satisfaction. The divine is all merciful and gives us all that we need to lead us as quickly as possible to the goal. Our Divine Mother says it is the Divine's presence that gives value to life. This presence is the source of all peace, all joy, all security. Find this presence in yourself, and all your difficulties will disappear. Day and night, constantly, the presence is there.
Entered a mortal's breast, made there her study of divining thought and sanctuary of prophetic speech, and sat upon the tripod seat of mind. All was made wide above, all lit below. In darkness core, she dug out wells of life. On the undiscovered depths imposed the form, lent a vibrant cry to the unuttered vast.
Our Divine Mother says, day and night, constantly, the presence of the divine is there. It is enough to turn silently inward and we detect it. Remember always the divine, and all you do will be an expression of the divine presence in activity and in silence and in taking and in giving. Always the glad remembrance of the divine. Our Divine Mother says, in activity and in silence, in taking and in giving, always the glad remembrance of thee. All our thoughts, all our sentiments will move towards the divine as the river towards the sea. Let all thoughts, all feelings, all actions, all hopes be turned towards the divine and concentrated on him. He is our only help and our only safety. Our Divine Mother says, yes, my child, it is quite true that the divine is the sole refuge. With him is absolute safety. From the Collective Works, Volume 14, page 16.
body's cell that knew the meaning of his fated work. Taken to the mark of accomplished powers beyond life's arc in spirit's immensity. Apart he lived in his mind's solitude, a demigod shaping the lives of men. One soul's ambition lifted up the race. He drew the energies that